Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GWE100. It's the Tier 10 German SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Serene Coast, which is a representation of Canada, and it's under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, he's actually in Arty again. He does play it occasionally, but he likes light tanks at the moment. Game on! Well, this is the biggest Arty in the game, actually. In terms of size, it's actually bigger than the T92 HMC and has the biggest number of hit points as well, with 500. Now, the howitzer is technically a mortar. It's a 21 centimeter mortar, which is actually the same one that you'll find on the GW Tiger as well as the GW Tiger P. But it's the stock gun as well as the top gun, capable of doing 900 alpha and penetrating 53 millimeters of armor. Standard reload 37.39 seconds. You can see Bassman's got it down to 33.33, and he's just spotted a couple of enemy tanks, an AMX-50 and an Object 277. Now this Arty with the HE rounds has a splash radius of 11.4 meters, and his first shot hits the STB-1 directly with 378. So he didn't pen, but he certainly did smack that guy and make him think twice. Now it does have decent armor, but it also has some drawbacks because it also has the worst camo rating in the game. But the size means that you can carry a spall liner. And with the armor of this vehicle, it means that you're actually kind of impervious, not only to shells, but also to being rammed. And so unless you get a direct hit, and another direct hit on the Object 277, unless you get hit by a direct hit, well, you're not going to suffer much damage. And even though it's only 500 hit points, it still means that this Arty, or 550 hit points actually, in the game, it's been nerfed down to 500. But even though it's only got 500 hit points, it still can stand up to the punishment. It also means that if an enemy tank tries to ram it, since it's based on a heavy tank, if it has the spall liner, more than likely whoever tries to ram it's going to come off worse, because the tank will be kind of protected. Now he's dialing on the Foch 155, and well, it got close, but it hit the rock just in front of him. He's trying to cover both sides at once at the moment. In fact, the enemy has managed to reach right up onto the ground near the Gorilla 15, and he's now fighting it out with an AMX-13-105. And I wouldn't give him that Gorilla 15 much chance of surviving that, because after all, he's got a single shot and he can't turn his gun all the way round, whereas the AMX-13-105 is a 3-shot autoloader and he can turn his turret the whole way. But it may be the AMX-13-105 has actually gone over the edge, as just as we see the Bassman get a penetrating shot from the STB-1 for 910 hit points and get his first kill. It looks like the AMX-13-105 has gone over the edge, but he hasn't drowned. I was focusing on that because I was worried that somebody might be coming up behind the Bassman, but in actual fact we don't need to worry about that now. That long reload, though, is a bit of a hindrance. 33 seconds is a long time. Rounds out on the Object 277, and another direct hit. 267 this time, because it hit the frontal armor of the 277. It looks like the AMX has lost their 13-105. See it go, but I think he is out of their game. Yes, he has been killed. He's gone. Now, this Arty never existed. It's a figment of Wargaming's imagination. It never existed, like the GW Tiger P, which is also one of the slowest Artys in the game, because the Tiger P will only do 35 kilometers an hour. This one will do 40, as he scores another hit on the 277. So it's a very slow Arty. It doesn't move about quickly. But then, considering the weight of the vehicle, yes, it's 100 tons. It's a heavy Arty. Very heavy. In fact, that should make it virtually completely immune to being rammed, or at least certainly by anything lighter than a heavy tank. He's trying to line up a shot in the 277, who's going to stop any second to take a shot, I think. There we go. And there you go. Rounds out. Well, that was splash only because he managed to turn just as he moved, but he got the stun assist off that one. Yes, the E100 did exist as a tank. In fact, it was never completed, but it did exist as a vehicle. But unfortunately, the GW E100, the Schutzwagen E100, never existed, and it's only, well, a supposition or a figment of Wargaming's imagination that Germans might have actually put it together if they put the E100 into production. Another direct hit, this time on the Viz 55, 427, and he's scooting from that position. There's two enemy Arties, and, well, they're running out of targets to shoot at, which means he's more likely to get picked on, so he's decided to move about the map a little. The enemy Arties are another GW E100 and a T92 HMC. On Bassman's team, he's got that Object 261, and of course they've got much better fire rate. He's just dialing in there on the Viz 55. He's gone out of sight because our Progetto 65 is the spotter. We'll get him back in sight soon, I think, because the Progetto should be able to see him. He's a medium tank, so he might have slightly better view range. Ah, right, okay, we spotted it. There you go, there's the 55. Rounds out. Direct hit! Right on the engine. Yeah, you can see where it struck, actually. It looks like it knocked off the drive wheel at the back. He took a big hit there, 414, and he's picked up stun assist since. Yeah, that Viz 55 driver is not going to be happy. Not getting hit like that at that particular moment. He's still getting struck. He's now having to take defensive action because he knows that Bassman's going to be loaded any second and he doesn't want to get hit again. I think he's about there. Bassman's firing around in. That must have been near him. Now you get 30 rounds of ammunition. That's about right, because the thing is that it would have carried more ammunition, seeing as it's a very heavy vehicle. It would have carried more ammunition than some of the other Arties, so yes, it does have a better DPM than the T92, this Arty. It does carry more shells than the T92 as well. In fact, if I remember correctly, because I can look it up, the Object 261 carries 20 rounds, this carries 30. The T92 carries only 16. And lastly, well, I can't remember how many the 155-58 actually has, but the Conqueror only has 24. So out of all the Arties, this one is carrying the most shells, at least until I can confirm how many the Batchat 155-58 has. He probably does have more, but then he is a an autoloader, and the shells are smaller. Okay, that Progetto is a one-shot. He's a splash kill, actually. Put it near him. He's gone. Rounds out. Unfortunately, the 261 got there before us. There's only 4 enemies left, including both Arties, and the team are closing in on the enemy cap area. Now, despite the fact that he only has 1 kill so far, he's got 3.5k of actual damage and 1,200 of stun assist. So it's a good game for the Bassman. One of the Arties has been spotted. There's the AMX-50. He's out on his own out there, and that makes him vulnerable. We're loaded, just lining him up. Rounds out. That was good. He got the stun assist, massive amount there. And the AMX-50B is down. And that means now there's only 2 enemies left, the T124 and the enemy GW E100. And I think the Gorilla 15 is... Well, the Gorilla 15 is going up by the side. He's trying to find the the T110, and we've got a shot as soon as we're loaded. Oh, he dies before we can even shoot, and there goes the GWE100. So the game is over, and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the GWE100. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 8 in that one. And he got a Gold medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle in that game. And his win rate was 3,894, and he had a really good contest with his teammate in the Object 261. Let's have a look at team score. Oh my gum, look at that. He got the highest damage in the game. I'm not sure how much he was short of the high caliber, but he certainly didn't hit any teammates in that one. So I presume he did qualify for it, but just didn't get 20%. I'll just check that at the end of the game, and I'll put it when I render the video. He got 4,098 hit points, the highest damage in the game. The second highest damage went to the Gorilla 15 with 3,379. And he also picked up a Pascucci's because he killed both enemy Arty. He was lining up a shot on the GWE100. And the third highest on damage was the T110E4 of the enemy team with 3,366. When it came to kills, though, I'm afraid he's a little further down the table because he only got the 1 kill. But the 4 kills went to the Progetto 65, 3 kills went to the Gorilla 15, and also to the AMX-50B on the enemy team. So good job that Bassman did hit that guy, because that guy could have been dangerous to our team if he'd survived and managed to assist in the defense of their cap area. And when it came to the third place, you've got the Gorilla 15, the other Gorilla 15, who also picked up Pascucci's. He got 2 kills, so did the T110E3 and the T110E4 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he's a little further up the table because the Progetto managed 906, while Bassman got 851, and the third highest was Gorilla 15 with 798. He fired 13 rounds, so he didn't even get to half of his ammunition in that one. Got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetration. And I think the penetrating shot was on the STB-1. Just check that. Yes, it was. Look at that. Penetrating shot, the one at the end that took him out whilst I was talking. Yeah, focus on the battle, Nigel. Yep, 11 splashes on the enemy as well. 4,098 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. Damage 5 the enemy, killed 1. 764 hit points of damage assistance, and 1,225 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. So his overall total, 5,300 actually I should say, is a lot of damage. It's a pity this wasn't an ace tanker, maybe on the next battle. 69,044 credits for the battle, 50,000 for completing a mission, 119,044 credits altogether, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, he took away 71,074 credits profit, 30 bonds for this being for the mission completion, 7 for this being tier 10, 37 in total, 1,276 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,553 experience points altogether. He says, Arty always makes me happy, Gauze for 4.1. Well, it was a lot more than 4.1 if you take into account the stun assist as well. But yes, I mean, an Arty like this, when you can do that sort of damage to the enemy, it really is a bit of fun, and it brings a smile to my face as well. I must admit, I really do get a deep sense of satisfaction, especially if I help my team to win. And I think that's common with a lot of Arty players. I mean, they don't get enough recognition for the fact that occasionally we win the battle for the team, almost single-handed sometimes. But when you put in that much effort and you get that sort of reward at the end, yes, it's very nice indeed. And I always feel like, yes, they do owe us a pint if we got it right. And we certainly do not deserve the recrimination and attacks that so many players give us, but then they really should move and think Arty, you know, play Arty, think Arty, so that they don't get hit by Arty. if they don't play Arty and think Arty, they will get hit, and it's their own fault for doing that. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. Please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.